Hey, BGA 7th grade science students. So this week, Miss Jessie and I are going to give you an assignment where you're going to build a slide deck on a certain type of energy. Um, so there's going to be a document that you're going to get called Energy Type Research Slides, and it's a blank template that you're going to use to fill out information about your kind of energy. We're going to have three types of energy that you can choose to look into: nuclear energy, light energy, and electrical energy. And that matches up with the three kinds of energy that we have set up for you for Brain Pop. So whichever type of energy you choose to do for your Brain Pop video, or whichever most interests you, after you watch those three videos on Brain Pop, that will be the kind of energy that you do your post-work assignment on. So I want to show you quickly my example presentation. Your template presentation has directions on the first slide, and then at the end of the presentation, there are resources, 3 links for each type of energy, and 2 links for general energy information. And there's a rubric that guides you through how to earn the top 50 points or all 50 points that you want to earn in this assignment. Okay, so the title slide is worth 5 points, 4 points for the title, name and date, and 1 point for the design. Let's take a look at mine. Okay, title, name, date, and I also did something design-wise. I included a picture of a molecule that contains chemical energy, in this case sugar. Also, you'll notice that I changed the font from the kind of boring font that we had here. Now this is important. Miss Jessie and I do not want you guys to leave, like if you do this, if you say electrical energy, we didn't put these things so that you would leave them. The idea was to say you should replace these. So you should get rid of these little brackets on the side. Okay? And then if you wanted to change the font, you would just come up to here to font, and you can choose all different. I was using this one called Bungee Shade, but there's all kinds of different fonts that you can choose. Try to choose something that is readable. We're really open. We just want to see something that you think looks good. And we want you to show some effort and to put some energy into designing this. Okay? All right, let's get it back to how it was. You'll notice that sometimes font appears gray on Google Slides. You can change the font color up here under text color. It's the A with the little color bar underneath it. I could make it dark green if I wanted to, but in this case, I'm just going to turn it back to dark black. Okay, very good. All right, so my title slide is done. This next slide is the what is slide. So I had to talk about what chemical energy is, and if you look at your template has exactly what you need to write on the slide. It says you need to give a general description of the kind of energy you chose, either light, electrical, or nuclear. You should talk about where this energy source is found, where it comes from, and you should also explain how this energy source can be used to do work. And then over here it says delete this text and insert an image that shows or represents your energy type. Delete this text and write a caption that explains your image. Okay, so let's take a look at what I did. So, and just to point out, I'm doing chemical energy, which was not an option for you guys. So you can look at mine as an example, but none of the information, you can't really steal any of the information because chemical energy is not one of the kinds of energy that you guys can choose. Remember, you can only choose nuclear, light, or electrical energy. Okay, so let's take a look at what I did here. What is chemical energy? I said all matter on Earth is made of molecules, which are made of atoms bonded or stuck together. Any molecule is considered a chemical, and chemical energy is the energy contained in the tiny bonds of any molecule. And then I said, see picture. And over here, I've got this is a water molecule, and it says a bond that holds 2 or more atoms together is a chemical bond. And then in my caption, I said, and I wrote this picture shows a molecule with chemical bonds. Chemical energy is stored in chemical bonds. Down here I said, it takes energy to create these bonds, and so when they are created, energy is stored. When they are broken, that energy can be released. This energy can be used to do work. So I gave a general description of the kind of energy that I chose. I talked about where the energy source is found and where it comes from. And I also explained how the energy source can be used to do work. So I hit everything on there. I put a picture and I wrote a caption. So I would have earned 15 out of 15 on that first slide. Okay, you need to do this for each of the slides. The next slide is an example of your energy type. The last slide is energy transformation. Is an energy transformation example. Okay, so in this one, you're going to give an example of your kind of energy just generally in the world. Let's take a look at my exemplar. Example of chemical energy. So yours might say example of electrical energy or example of nuclear energy. Okay, and I said, well, chemical energy is not always as obvious as other kinds of energy. There are lots of examples of chemical energy in everyday life, including food and batteries. One good example of chemical energy is burning wood. Wood contains stored chemical energy from when it was part of a tree. Trees, like all plants, convert light into energy from the sun into stored chemical energy. When wood burns, this energy is released, turning light into heat and energy. Okay, so wood burning, like in this fire right here, is an example of chemical energy being released. And then this wood over here is an example of stored chemical energy, what we would actually call potential chemical energy. And this is a picture of a campsite that I camped at. So you can see I tried to do a really nice job making this slide interesting, appealing, well designed. You know, I didn't leave it kind of in the boring format. And you can leave it like this, but Miss Chessie and I would really like you to put a little bit of design effort into it. This shows in any work that you do, whether in middle school, high school, college, or at a job or any place, when you put in that extra effort of design, it shows that you are invested in the process, invested in the final product. And the people who are doing your evaluating are going to look at the work you do and say, oh, this person really cared about that work. The last example is energy transformation. So you need to show a way that your energy transforms from one type to another. So this is really important. You have to give two examples. It says give one real world example of a different type of energy transforming into your type, and then give one real world example of your type of energy transforming into another type. And you still, just like the other ones, you've got to show a picture and have a caption. So when I look at mine, I found a really good example. Light and heat energy from the sun is turned into chemical energy that plants can store. That's my first one. Light and heat energy, that's a kind of energy that was not the kind that I had, is turned into chemical energy in plants and stored. So a different kind of energy turned into my kind of energy. Then I said humans eat the fruits and vegetables, and their bodies convert chemical energy into kinetic energy when they, for example, ride a bike. Now I want to point out that you don't have to have just one thing. You could have, and I'll show you another way that you could have done this. I could have had two pictures, and I could have said, okay, my first one is light energy turning into chemical energy. So I'm going to say sun picture into Google. Oops, hope you guys can hear me okay. Sun picture into Google for an image. Okay, let's say sun picture clip art, because that will give me little cartoony suns. That's what I want. There's a sun. Copy image address. Oh, and you know what I should probably do, guys? I always do this to look for images. But there's a faster way to do it in here. Okay, so that was a little bit slow of a way to get a picture of the sun. A faster way would be to just go insert image, search the web, and then here I can say vegetables and fruit. Okay, there's a good picture of vegetables and fruit. Okay, boom. And then I'm going to take that same picture of vegetables and fruit. Okay, what I did there was I clicked Control-C. Watch, I clicked on the image. I clicked Control-C on my computer, and then Control-V. And that copied and pasted a new version of the same picture. So I didn't have to reinsert it. Okay, and then the last thing I need is a picture of a biker. Bicycle rider. I'm going to say bicycle rider, so I don't get anybody on a motorcycle. Pick this kid doing a wheelie, because it's kind of cool. All right, doing a wheelie on the bike. Okay, so the last thing we need to do then, and you can do this for your energy type, I'm going to put an arrow connecting one energy type to another. And then if you click off it, this arrow is really tiny. I'm going to make it thicker here with line point. And I'm going to change its color here with line color. let's make it red. Okay, and then I could insert another arrow like this, but I like this arrow, so I'm going to click Control C again, and then Control V makes me another copy of it. And I'm going to bring it down. And so there you go. There's my 2 examples of energy transformation broken up into, and this is what you can do. You can do 2 examples, an example of one type of energy being turned into your type, in my case, light to chemical, and then an example of your type of energy being turned into another kind of energy, in this case, chemical to kinetic energy, when this kid rides the bike. Mine are connected because sun helps to make the vegetables, then the vegetables go into the kid, but yours don't have to be. You could have 2 totally separate examples here. And that's again why, and I'm just going to do this really fast, I'll jump back to what I had before. That's why this picture was so nice, I thought, because it did a good job of just showing that everything in one image. But your examples may not be connected like that. Okay, so hopefully this gives you a basic overview of what you need to do to complete your energy type research slides. This is going to be posted as post work once you complete your classwork. Okay, guys, thanks for watching. Please message Miss Chessie and I if you have any questions.